Hello everyone, our names are
Amarani Cortez,
Tanya Escobar,
Tina Lee,
Terry Osorio,
and Maya Napa. And today we will be discussing the prevalent issue of teenage pregnancy within the Hispanic and Latino community.
Upon completion of this video, 75% of students will be able to identify unique characteristics of teen pregnancy within the Latino community. 50% of students will be able to identify the relationship between teen pregnancy and the Latino community. And lastly, 50% of students will be able to identify at least one effective intervention that has been used in order to prevent teen pregnancy within the Latino community.
Next, I will be discussing the cultural barriers within the Hispanic and Latino population, such as educational barriers, access to healthcare, and socioeconomic status.
According to Pew Research Center Hispanic Trends, an educational barrier that Hispanic and Latino population encounter is that the lack of knowledge on the U.S. educational system. Mexicans with a 26.5% and other Latin Americans with a 24.5% make up 2/4 of the U.S. immigrant population. Therefore, it makes it harder for teens to relate with their parents about any issues that they have at school. As well as in the National Center of Biotechnology Information (NCBI) website, school dropout and Latino teen sexual behavior shows that Latinos account for 41% of dropout rates among ages 16 to 24, while they only account for 18% of teen population. In addition, another cultural barrier that Hispanics and Latino encounter is the lack of health care. 63% of teen mothers receive public assistance within the first year of childbirth. Even though that is a high percentage, many people don't even know that they have the opportunity to receive public assistance. And compared to all other racial and ethnic groups, Latinos reportedly have the lowest percentage in regards to health insurance coverage. They have access to free clinic, but some do not have the time to wait in long lines, and some don't even have the transportation to go to a clinic or have their yearly checkup. Furthermore, a study on poverty and Latino teen sexual behavior shows that 52% of mothers on welfare had their first child in their teens. A low socioeconomic status leads to living in a neighborhood with physical disorders such as graffiti, abandoned vehicles, litter, alcohol containers, cigarette butts, and even glass on the floor. In addition, there are few opportunities for positive youth involvement in the teens community, and low socioeconomic status receive public assistance who have difficulties paying for basic necessities such as contraceptives. Overall, teen pregnancy often interrupts a teen's educational and career trajectory, which in turn can set the stage for reduced earnings and a higher likelihood of raising a child in poverty.
Along with the previous cultural barriers that were discussed, other sociocultural factors that are unique within the Latino community influence a teenager's decision about risky sexual behaviors and unintended teenage pregnancies.
Of the Latino population in the United States, there are over 20 different Spanish-speaking countries from where these people come from. While many have different traditions, a lot of the values that are upheld within these communities are shared. The values that are commonly shared within these nations are the importance of motherhood, family communication, religion, and the acculturation process. Research has shown that these values play a heavy influence on a teenager's decision about risky sexual behavior and teenage pregnancy within their community. Within the Latino community, motherhood is held in high regard for women. Due to this, out of all ethnicities, Latina teenagers are more likely to want to become a young mother. While this may seem strange, their reasoning for wanting to become a young mom is highly due to the mindset that motherhood will only delay their future plans but not get rid of them. In a study conducted in 2014, 47% of the Latino teenagers that were interviewed believed this idea. Latino communities have very close-knit families, So family communication and parental influence also play a role in a Latino teenager's decision about sex at an early age. The same study found that close to half of Latino teenagers reported that their parents had the strongest influence when it came to decisions about sex. While communication between parent and child is great, their correct and proper information is what is crucial to guide a teen's decisions about sexual behaviors. Unfortunately, most Latino teenagers are not benefiting from parent communication, since 75% of them reported that their parents had discussed the topic about sex but only focused on the negative consequences and didn't even bother to provide information on how to properly take safe prevention methods. So while parents are teaching teenagers that risky sexual behaviors can lead to an unwanted pregnancy or an STI, they don't consider that using only scare tactics won't steer their teenager away from engaging in these types of behaviors. The Latino community tends to play a great emphasis on religion, with 84% of Latinos following a Christian-based faith, with a little more than half of them being Catholic. The role religion plays in a Latino teenager's life causes them to make decisions regarding sex to be based off their knowledge and influence. The same study from 2014 found that many Latina teenagers were more hesitant of using contraception to avoid pregnancy because of what they had learned from religion. What was also observed was that the religious impact on their life tends to decimate once they have had their first sexual encounter. The last sociocultural factor that we will be discussing is the acculturation process that some Latina teenagers experience. Research showed that being more acculturated increases the likelihood of pregnancy within this community by 17%. Some researchers attribute this rise due to clashing cultures, with different values being strongly upheld varying person to person. They noted that when less acculturated teenagers practiced their faith more closely, they were less likely to engage in risky sexual behaviors. So while some are more influenced by their faith, others might be more swayed in their decisions by the idea of motherhood. Researchers also found that first-generation Latinas made up the biggest percentage of teen pregnancy compared to second- and third-generation Latinas. These sociocultural factors have shown evidence of their heavy influence on the rate of pregnancy within the Latino community and should be taken into consideration for future interventions.
Next, I will be discussing the negative outcomes of teen pregnancy, including the health implications within the mother and infant, dropout rates, and other potential consequences. There are negative outcomes from teen pregnancy. One of the outcomes includes that there is a higher rate of high school dropout. Up to 41% of teen mothers drop out of high school because they are unable to attend school due to being pregnant or the lack of having somebody to take care of their infant while they are at school. Another negative outcome is that there are health implications. Teen mothers face health implications throughout their pregnancy, including becoming anemic. Anemia is a low concentration of hemoglobin in the blood, which can cause extreme tiredness and other complications. Approximately 14% of pregnant women develop anemia because of the insufficient amount of healthy calories intake that is needed during their pregnancy, as well as the increased iron requirements associated with the expansion of the red mass during adolescence. Prenatal care will ensure that they are receiving nutrition and vitamins needed to prevent the iron deficiencies. Another health implication is poor maternal weight gain. In 2006, the rate of low birth weight in teenagers was as high as 13.4% compared to 8.3% within the entire population. Poor maternal weight gain is caused because the gestational weight gain is usually associated with the fetal growth or because the same determinants of gestational weight gain, including diet and exercise, can also impact the fetal growth. Children who are born to adolescents face challenges throughout their lives. The children may face a poor educational behavior and health outcome. That is so because they do not get the advantage compared to children born to older parents. Another negative outcome that is faced throughout the teen pregnancy is that the mother may suffer poor mental health. This may include severe depression throughout their entire pregnancy. Postpartum depression, also known as PPD, is common and affects between 10 through 15% of pregnant teens. Depression may be caused when the family is not supporting their daughter. The mother may be unfinancially stable. She may also be worried about finishing school and finding employment. Postpartum depression can also be caused when the pregnant teen is worried about the delivery of her baby and whether she is going to be a good mother. If the mother's depression remains untreated, it can affect the developing fetus. The fetus may be born too small or too early.
Now I will be presenting the rates of Hispanic and Latino teen pregnancy.
The rate of teen pregnancy within the Hispanic and Latino population decreased drastically from 104.6 pregnancies per 1,000 female teens in 1991 to 49.4 per 1,000 teens in 2011. The rate of this decline is faster than any other racial groups. Although there are declines in the pregnancy rates within this population, there are still disparities within the different racial groups. Whites had 21.8 pregnancies per 1,000 adolescent females, and blacks had 118.2 pregnancies per 1,000 adolescent females. In 2016, it was found that 66,219 Hispanic teens who were pregnant were unmarried, as compared to 66,509 white adolescent females and 41,780 black adolescent females. Regarding the pregnancy rates within the Hispanic and Latino population in 2016, 45,878 of female adolescents were Mexican, 8,662 were Central and South American, 6,156 were Puerto Rican, 783 were Cuban, and 13,343 were other Hispanics. According to the teen pregnancy rates by states in 2010, Georgia had the highest rates of pregnancy, which was 113 pregnancies per 1,000 adolescent females. West Virginia had the lowest rates of teen pregnancy with 29 pregnancies per 1,000 adolescent females.
Now I will be discussing successful interventions that work towards the goals of preventing teen pregnancy within the Hispanic and Latino population. These interventions were conducted at multiple levels, such as the community level and relationship level, in order to ensure effectiveness. The first effective intervention that I'll be discussing is called Familias Unidas. Their mission is to improve self-sufficiency and wellness within the Latino community. They have a health education program that teaches teens comprehensive sex education. They also conduct a teen pregnancy prevention program. And among participants who reported having sex the past 90 days, there was a reduction in inconsistent condom use during vaginal intercourse by 39%. The next successful intervention is called Cuídate. It's a culturally tailored intervention program that emphasizes Latino cultural beliefs in order to teach teen youth the importance of abstinence and condom use in order to prevent teen pregnancy. Their target population is Hispanic teens 13 to 18 years old, and it heavily emphasizes condom use in order to prevent teen pregnancy. Its original research shows that teens who went through the intervention were more likely to report less days of unprotected sex. The next successful intervention is called Families Talking Together. It's a parent-based intervention program to prevent Hispanic teens from engaging in sexual behaviors such as unprotected sex. Parents are taught effective communication skills in order to build better relationships with their teen children, while teens are also taught refusal skills. 9 months after undergoing the intervention, teens were statistically significantly less likely to report having vaginal intercourse within the past 30 days. The last successful intervention I'll be discussing is called AIM for Teen Moms, and AIM stands for Adult Identity Mentoring.
This intervention program is an evidence-based intervention to reduce rapid repeat pregnancies amongst Hispanic teen moms. This intervention program helps teen mothers define their life aspirations, achieving those aspirations, and also helps encourage and guide them to consider the role of contraception within their lives. And it was reported 12 months after undergoing the intervention that teen moms were less likely to report having had sex without any effective contraceptive method.
Hope you learned more about teenage pregnancy within the Hispanic and Latino community. And don't forget to take the survey with the link below.
Thank you for watching.